Well, it is July the 10th, and young Edward and myself are off to the Festival of Speed for 2 days. Now, Festival of Speed starts tomorrow, which is the 11th, but today we're going down to the D-Day story and in Portsmouth, and then to the historic dockyard if we've much time to do that. It's 4.5 hours from where we live, so those of you who watch this from the USA, then obviously that's not very far. It's only 240 miles or something. But in England, that takes 4.5, nearly 5 hours. Just the way our roads are. So yeah, we're going to get down there, and you know, all the work we've done on the Aston over the last couple of years is really paying off now, because we're able now to do these long trips in comfort and all the rest of it. One thing I haven't done yet is I did some work on the exhaust last week, because we get a lot of heat soak into the cabin, and I put some insulation on the above the exhaust. It's only got a single box. Some race car insulation. Basically, it's very, very thin 3mm insulative material with a self-adhesive backing and a sort of dimpled, strengthened aluminium reflective front. So we're hoping that'll make a little bit of a difference. Although typical UK weather in July, certainly for this year, it's about 13 degrees C and a little bit showery, so it's not going to be too much of an issue today. So yeah, we're on our way down there, and we'll put a couple of videos on over the weekend of the things that we see and we hear and so on. So hopefully slightly different from the most of the videos that we do, which are usually workshop videos, but hopefully you'll appreciate it. So just arrived at Festival of Speed, and this is the performance car parking. So unlike everywhere else that you go, if you come in the performance car parking, you don't have a muddy field. You have a very nice metal drive. Oh, there's a chap. Morning.
How are you?
Very well indeed, thanks. You?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
I'm just heading to my colleague and parking next to this light blue car here.
Can I not park next to those Astons down there?
I can't park there because there's a fence on the other side, so they'd be stuck.
Oh, what a shame.
I'll need you to park here.
Excellent.
You'll be facing forward, so that's okay.
Absolutely fine. Thank you very much indeed.
Don't face forward.
So no, got to do that. So it's a great place, and look at that tree. That tree's amazing. A few more Astons down there. Oh, there's another DB7 there. Look, Chiltern Green, I think that is. Yeah. So we'll park here, and we're right next to the entrance, which is that way. Apparently I can't drive anymore, which is, you know. Cheers, thank you very much. Yeah, so I can't drive anymore, obviously, so there you go. So let's I'm going to pause this, and then what we'll do is we'll walk in and we'll show you exactly where we are and how close we are to the bit of the track. So we just parked up, and we're just walking through the performance car parking. It's the Thursday today, which is the very first day. Not as many famous people here today. You don't get as many famous drivers and so on. So it's sort of almost press day, if you like. You still get some decent cars here, as you can see, just parked up. But this is the festival site, and we're straight into it. So it's so easy to get in. The other side of this enormous tree is, Grenadier there, is the cricket pitch and so on. Oh, done a load of work on that tree. So that tree over there last year was right up, but they've taken the top off, obviously. But yeah, some interesting cars here for GT40s, obviously some Astons, and some nice stuff. And later on, when we come out, when other people are here, there'll be even more. So I think we'll wander down to basically the start-finish straight, which is
just there. Just over there is the Lotus stand, and then over there is the Grenadier stand. So you're so close to everything.
Yeah, and you can see all the tents and so on over there. So we'll just have a wander in. Now, those of you who saw any of my photos or videos from the festival of, the members meeting, will understand that I love the attitude to risk at Goodwood. There you go.
Yeah.
Instead of fencing this old tree off, it says, "Caution, risk of falling branches. Just keep out of the area." That's great.
And just an idea of what was at the members meeting. There were fire pits all around the racetrack, and some of the signs said things like, "Caution, don't set yourself on fire."
And they did. It was it was sensible health and safety, I think. So here we go. We'll wander in here, I think, and just have a good old look around. And now the festival speed's enormous, and actually you've got the house, which is beautiful. You've got the run that the cars go up, which is up the hill, and so they go up the hill. It's about 1.5 miles. It's his drive. It's Lord Richmond's drive, and they go up there. Some great speeds and so on. And actually, for me, that's not the best bit. For me, it's all the stands, because here now I'll turn this round in a second, but there's all sorts of technology. So British Nuclear Fuels are here, all the tech companies with the latest innovations for vehicles and so on.
There will be a red arrow fly past, and then also in that building there will be a Q&A with all the pilots.
Yep, so that's some of the stuff that happens. Then there's the Cartier Style Lux, which is basically a concourse exhibition with some of the most valuable cars in the world will be here, and then the paddocks and so on, where the cars get ready for the runs. You can just go in and talk to the drivers and the mechanics and so on, and it's just really great. It's free and open, so there's so much to do, and as you can see here, it's a great recreational area as well. So there's lots of spaces to come and just sit and chill out while the madness is going on behind. So there's a quick flavour of how it is for this morning, and I'll do some other videos during the day, and then we'll put them on Facebook, and we'll put them on my YouTube channel. So yeah, anything anybody wants to know, just send me a question or whatever, and we'll answer it. Here we are, Pagani stand. Who would have guessed? It's over 20 years since the Pagani Zonda was launched on an unsuspecting public. They're still shock even now, don't they? I mean, look at that air intake on top of that. That's fabulous, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. So yeah, I can't remember if it's 25 years, but it's certainly a long time. Amazing things. Down at the Supercar paddocks now, so starting with Gordon Murray at Automotive, and you've got all sorts of stuff down here, and you've got Koenigsegg and all the big names down here. And there we go. I think that's the XP2, so that's the experimental number 2. So look at that, 20 years since the Koenigsegg was launched, and I did the Cannonball Run in 2004, and one of the first ones in the country was on it, and they got a call from the insurers about an hour before we were due to set off, and he was told that he couldn't use it. It was too expensive to use for the Cannonball Run, and he ended up using a Mercedes hire car to do the Cannonball Run because it was just too expensive, and it was the first one in the country. Absolutely fabulous car, and Koenigsegg are amazing. Chris, who runs the company, is a real visionary and really knows what he's doing. So here we go. So this is Aston Martin's entry into the Supercar run today, and this is the Valor. So this is basically in homage to the V8 Vantage of the 1980s, and this was can't think of the racing driver's name. How awful! Wanted a race version of it, so this is the Valor, and You can sort of see V8 Vantage flanks and all the rest of it. Not sure if you'll be able to see inside. No, you can't see inside. But Fernando Alonso wanted a race version, and that's the Valiant, which is over here. And the Valiant is the race version of the Valor. And here's a new Vantage. It looks significantly bigger than the old one, so that's not a V8 Vantage. Oh yeah, it is, actually. I'm completely wrong. This is the new updated one. I've not seen one. It's much bigger, and actually doesn't look much smaller than the DB12, which is over there. But yes, I was saying that at Le Mans, Aston have done really well in the last few years with the older Vantage. So the series before this one we're looking at here, and they'd won the class honours many times. But with the Valkyrie, they're hoping that they're actually going to win Le Mans next year. It'll be interesting. Maybe next year's a bit too much to ask for. Generally in this kind of racing, it takes a couple of years to actually get it where it needs to be. But we shall see. So as you can see, it's really quite busy now. Everybody wants to see the supercars in the supercar run, but it's not busy compared with how it will be tomorrow. So this is the latest spec Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Notice physical switches. Now, in your everyday car, everybody's going for electronic control on the infotainment systems, and it's an absolute pain. It's actually a safety hazard in my view, because you're going through menus. This is a driver-focused car. You've got actual physical switches. Can you see that whole row there? Much better. And they'll control the computers. That's fine, not an issue with that. But it means you can just look, you know where it is, and actually muscle memory comes into play then. You can do it when you're driving almost without thinking, as those of us who've been driving for a few years absolutely know and understand. So that's absolutely brilliant. I love the fact they've gone back for that. And the interior of this is much better than the interior of the previous Vantages. In fact, Astons have come along with their interiors in the last 12 months, which is absolutely great. And this is why I bought a DB7. I'm not sure Jill would have been able to get into the back of that, having just given birth to young Edward here. So that was a few years ago. As you can see, he's grown a bit. Don't even know why they bother putting those in. I just put a parcel shelf personally, but anyway, there you go. So this is a DB12, you know, super Grand Tourer, absolutely fabulous interior. And let's be honest, Aston's interiors weren't as good as Bentley's, but I think they're up there now. So this is an AGT Z twin tail. So those of you who know anything about cars will notice a couple of things. If I pan here and show the Z down there, and then I pan up and show you the roof, you'll see that it's an Andrea Zagato inspired and designed car. You can see the double bubble roof and the screen. Now this with the long tail goes back to and I thank you very much for telling me all about that. It's absolutely great, thank you. So this goes back to the Alpine 220 that was Le Mans car and Tour de France car and so on, and they found it wasn't doing very well, and then one of the engineers just chopped the tail off because there was too much drag, and it really worked. So this evokes that. Now actually this has been commissioned as a one-off by La Squadra, who apparently are a dealer of Alpine and Ferrari and so on. So this is great, and the tail of the car can be added on, and it just bolts on. It's very simple. So you've got a lovely piece of art on your wall if you don't want to have it on, or you can just put it on. So, but it's absolutely fabulous. Based on a 110, an Alpine 110, and evoking a lot of memories for people who remember the 220, and there are still people out there that are doing bespoke kind of creations, and isn't that absolutely fabulous to see? Bit of fun here for Edward. He's on the diggers. He's done Diggerland a couple of times. He really likes it, and this is another area that is Festival of Speed. This is the Fakem area. It's a family-friendly area, so you can bring the kids. There's a school party there, and there's all sorts of things. Face painting, big screen you can watch. Sort of toys and so on, and it's really family-friendly, and that's the whole point of it, because it can get a bit fractious, I should think, for the kids. So So there you go. So what's he doing? Yeah, he's just moving balls around. That's literally it. But he seems to be mastering it pretty well. So you know, maybe he's got a future as a digger driver. Who knows? And this is the joy of Festival of Speed. So look at that mad plane over there. See if I can zoom into it. So you've got that kind of thing with the Future Lab, which is there, sponsored by Randox. As you can see, there's all sorts of stuff in there. British nuclear fuels are in there. Oh, all sorts of stuff. Technology. Last year we saw autonomous marine drones, which can go off and just navigate themselves across the Pacific and monitor everything that they need doing. Then you've got Electric Avenue, which is all about the electric cars, you know, Polestar here, but then you've got traditional car manufacturers like that. And there, of course, is the most glorious Flint Goodwood house, and that's this year's display, which is celebrating MG. Looks like an MGB Roadster one end and the latest MGB this end. Gotta be honest, a bit uninspiring compared with previous years. When you consider that MG have such a glorious history, land speed records, and you know, racing at Sebring and all that kind of thing just come to mind. And not, you know, and some of the most amazing cars they put out. Was it the EX100 or something like that? I'm sure somebody will put in the comments that I'm wrong on that. But which was a land speed record car. And unrecognisable, but basically it was just an MG midget, I think, underneath. No, it wasn't a midget, can't remember what it was, but you know, and we've got that. But anyway, at least they're a featured mark this year, and they should be proud of their heritage. Just a shame, in my view, that they're now owned by a Chinese company, but that's just me. Bit of a flavour of Future Lab. This is flying drones. This is, operating systems for autonomous flights. Geoacoustics over there, robotics, tyre collective, just, you know, capturing tyre wear to get to zero emission mobility. Tyre wear is a huge issue, especially with electric vehicles. Weighs so much. Actually, the amount of rubber that we're putting on the roads and the amount of tyres that we're going through is huge, and it's very, very rarely factored into the whole thing. All sorts of different stuff here. Film companies, about what they're doing. And again, this is, there you go, Sheffield Robotics over in the far corner, and Randox, that's health testing. Well, that's cool stuff. So, oh yeah, Astroscale in the corner, I don't know if you can see that. That's space debris dispersal. So that's a massive issue we've given ourselves over the last few decades in terms of putting stuff in space and just leaving it there. And that's going to be a real issue in the future when we start to do more in space. And even now, if we get, as stuff that's been up there for many, many decades slows down due to gravitational forces, even if it's outside of our atmosphere, and will crash to Earth. So we've got to get that lot cleared up. It's an absolute mess out there. Future of robotics. Look at this. So this guy's moving his hand, and if you notice the hand over here, where am I pointing? Over here, that's doing exactly what this guy's hand's doing. So this is absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Yesterday morning when we were digging those bumps out, he was posted on what's going on, and it's thanks to this man in this yellow car that we're here today. It certainly is. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's been tried before, but look at this. Airless tyres. Now if you look at these, they're very flexible, but when the force is coming down, they barely deflect. So absolutely brilliant. So for off-road, you can't put it off its rim, you can't put a bit noisy that, a Polaris, that one. You can't put a thorn through it or anything like that. So that's absolutely brilliant.
Even if you do get and even if you do get a nail through it, obviously it won't affect it. So.
No, and I noticed they're made by Michelin, so you know, they're mainstream. So yeah. So this is Bonham's auction. You can only come into here if you're a member or a fellow of the Goodwood Road Racing Club. It's easy for me to say. But these are all for sale. It's absolutely fabulous what's in here. All sorts of things. All sorts of things. Stuff that's worth millions, hundreds of thousands. Yeah, you never find out what they go for, but it's really worth coming in. Range of stuff here. In the far distance you might be able to see some tractors. Then we've got a Volkswagen Polo over there, we've got Lamborghinis here, we've got little Fiat Jolly here. These are brilliant little things. We've got Paganis, we've got Bugattis over at the back, fabulous Rolls Royce there, and there, little Citroen there. All sorts of things, and this is in the concourse. And over there you've got Bugattis and so on. Such an eclectic mix, but it's all about style and design and so on. So absolutely amazing.
I'm not sure. I think it's because they didn't bring any more drags out.